I think in our day and age, people still think that hard work is actually still what brings success in this life. And I think, especially in this day and age, they couldn't be further from the truth. Like, if you were to maybe like 50 years ago, in that time, whenever technology isn't at where it's at right now, um, and just the way things were priced and just how everything went and how everybody lived 50 years ago, maybe hard work actually got you somewhere, and I bet it did, okay? But in this day and age, with all the technology people have, with, the access we have to, like, things like AI, the internet, um, countless and countless mentors and information that we can seek with just, like, the touch of a button, um, hard work, honestly, in my opinion, gets you nowhere. Um Now, I could be wrong, um, and I've definitely seen hard work out for people, okay? But when you look at the people who are becoming successful nowadays, and honestly, a recurring theme in people who have become successful in the past like 20 years, um, people like the richest people, like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, um, and then the people of this new age, like let's take TJR for example. Um, there's a recurring theme in everybody, and that is they believed in themselves. Okay, and that's a very cliche term. That's a very overused term. And to, I guess, take a deeper dive into that, um, at the end of the day, it's all your mental state. Okay, whether or not you become successful isn't determined by the amount of hard work you put into something. It's all about your mental state. Because, guys, if we based everything off of hard work, like people still do now, it's like, hey, you know, you need to get a job, you need to work hard toward your dreams. And yes, of course. But if we truly based everything off the amount of work ethic and hard work people put into something, who would be the richest people in the world right now? It would be construction workers, okay? Construction workers would be by far the people who would make billions. But guess what? They're not, okay? It's a typical 9 to 5 salary job, okay? So I think that that should be enough to prove to you that hard work does not and will not bring you success in this life. And that is all your mental state. And now, I mean, taking a deeper dive into that, you have to look at it, from a point of view that you're looking into the future version of yourself. Okay. Where does that future version of you want to be? Where do you want to be 10 years from now? Okay. What types of objects do you want to have in your possession? What kind of life do you want to live? Where do you want to live? Uh, what type of house do you want to have? What type of cars do you want to have? And of course, this is sort of a more male dominated type of dream. Okay, I mean the cars, the house, being successful, escaping that 9 to 5 rat race. That is definitely more of the male perspective. But I mean, in any aspect, like whatever your version of success is, where do you want to be at in the next 10 years? Okay. So essentially what you do is you take a deep analyzation of that and go as far as grabbing a piece of paper, grabbing a journal. This is what I've done. It's really helped me try and like actually focus on the tasks at hand. I would write down everything about my future version of myself. Okay. How that guy would act. Okay. How he would dress, how he looks, how he presents himself in front of other people, how he talks, how he thinks, and his persona, his energy, everything about that version of me who is in the future, who is successful. I wrote that down. Okay. And essentially, what happens from there is you can read that, and then every single day as you read that, you tell it to yourself, you are going to start to believe that, okay? And you're going to go so far as actually starting to implement that into your life, and you're not even going to be noticing it. Like, it's going to be such like small changes. Maybe you start taking better care of, like, for me, I started taking better care of my skin, okay? I used to have acne. I used to I started taking better care of my skin. Or maybe it's you starting to hit the gym, okay? Because for me, guys, I mean, this is what I post about content. Not so much YouTube, but my Instagram, my TikTok. I post a lot of physique stuff. Okay, I post a lot of fitness. That's my niche is fitness, stoicism, self improvement, mindset. Stuff like that. But maybe it's going to the gym. Okay, I mean 3-4 times a week. Get in there for 30 minutes, get stuff done. That could be it for you as well. But I mean, you will start to see these changes within your life and you don't even realize it. And guys, it's not because of hard work, okay? It is because of your mental shift, okay? It is all about who you believe yourself to be in the end, okay? And by in the end, I mean in the future, okay? However far in the future you are, 10 years, 5 years, shit, 20 years, whatever. But guys, nothing, and I mean like you will not get the life you want if you do not believe it to be true already, okay? And you've heard this. I guarantee you've probably heard this, especially if you're watching this video. You've definitely heard it. And I think it's starting to become a recurring theme. And I think people who are creating, I mean, self-improvement stoic content, kind of like me, um, I've noticed a shift in what we're actually talking about, and a lot of it seems to be about truly how much your mental state can impact your future self. Um, and a big topic is believing your goals, believing your achievements, everything that you want in this life, believing it to already be true. And what I mean by that is you act like that version of yourself that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, shit, even a month. Okay, you can dream as big as you want. Or acting like the version of yourself that hits the gym consistently 6 times a week, um, and it's just all around the best version of yourself. Okay, and you will not, like I said, you will not see progress within yourself towards that goal if you don't believe it to be true, okay? And something like how you might be asking, how can I actually believe? How can I actually start to believe? And this sounds a little cliche, but taking action, okay? That is a very commonly used term. Um, but let's say, okay, let's take for example me, okay? I want to become famous online, okay? I want to have millions of followers on social media, hundreds of thousands on YouTube, million, you get the gist of it. So with that goal in mind, it's all about whenever I say taking action, putting up shots every single day. If you guys watch my last video, I kind of use this analogy. I'm going to use it again, and I probably will be using it a lot in my videos. So if you get sick of it, that's too bad. But it's like basketball, okay? You are putting up shots every single day. And by putting up shots, I'm posting content, okay? And I'm posting not just once a day, multiple times a day, like 3 to 4 Instagram reels, 3 to 4 TikToks, maybe one long form YouTube video a day. Okay, that's all in one day. And you're putting up shots, okay? And whenever you start something like creating content, or whenever you are on the very beginning steps to your journey of becoming successful in whatever aspect of life you want to be, you're going to suck at it, okay? Maybe you might be blessed and be good at what you already do already, okay? I've seen some people blow up on social media like that, okay? But for most people, it's simply not going to happen like that, and you're going to suck at it. But as you continue to shoot more shots, to post more content, what starts to happen? Your chances, your probabilities for something to go viral, for something to hit, it only rises, guys. And it's at that point, it's just the law of chances, okay? The more you post, the higher likelihood of it going viral, okay? Something has to hit eventually. And through all of this, you putting up shots, you getting better every single day, taking the action like you need to be, you build confidence within yourself, okay? And confidence is essentially belief, okay? So, whenever you build confidence, that makes you want to show up and put up more shots, okay? Whenever you actually start seeing the progress, once you start seeing the followers come in, and of course, this is all in the social media aspect, you can apply this to whatever aspect you want in terms of money, in terms of whatever success looks like for you. But, whenever you start getting the followers, whenever you start getting the views, you start getting the likes, the comments, whatever, okay? Whenever you start actually gaining traction online, it gives you confidence, okay? And it makes you want to post more and more and more and more because you are experiencing a confidence and self belief within yourself that you have never felt before. And that is how it grows, okay? That is how you start to believe in yourself, okay? Nobody just automatically has a killer belief, self belief within themselves. Nobody starts out with a Kanye West style of confidence, a Kanye West style of ego. Okay, people don't start out like a narcissist. Okay, some people do, they might, but like I said, for the majority of us, we're not like that. So, and the only way you can get to that point is if you take action. You start with the trial and error. Okay, you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail until it hits. Okay, because it's going to hit eventually, guys. It's gonna hit. Okay, it's all just a matter of time, and it all looks at the law of chances. Okay, because it's going to happen eventually. And tying back into the beginning of the video, none of this came from hard work. You can maybe say showing up every single day is hard work, but like I said, I mean, for me, it was just creating content. Okay, that's not hard work. Okay, what what I think of hard work is going out onto a construction site, working a 9 to 5 in 100-degree weather every single day, you know, building whatever it is that they build. That's hard work for me. Okay, that's hard work. Okay, sitting in here posting content, that's not hard work. Okay, all it takes, guys, is you just showing up every single day, taking the action like you were supposed to, okay? And what that does is it builds you the confidence, it builds you the self belief, and you will eventually start to believe that, hey, I can make this happen. Okay, maybe this is the way it's supposed to go. Maybe this is what's destined for me. You will start to believe that, and you will start to believe it and believe it and believe it even more and more and more every single day until eventually you have such a high self belief within yourself that it's going to become true no matter what. Okay. And that is like the Kanye West style confidence that I think a lot of people are really wanting. But guys, all of this, it didn't come from hard work. Okay. It all came from my mental state, the dramatic shift that I took within my brain, my mental state to brainwash myself into a version of me that was successful. Okay, I truly believed like I was going to get this no matter what it takes. Like there is no plan B. Okay, and people are going to think you're delusional. Now, like I said in my last video, this term like delusional that this new generation is using, I think it's being taken out of context. And you'll hear a lot of people say, I bet you've heard it before, say you have to be delusional about your own success, or whatever, something along those lines. But whenever you are delusional about your own success, whenever you think it's a delusion that your success is all a delusion, that's telling you that it actually is a delusion. And at the end of the day, what delusion means is something that isn't real. That's something that's fake, okay? And you have to have this self belief and confidence within yourself that your dreams, your goals are not fake. They're not something that's a fairy tale, okay? That they are real and that they are already present within you in your internal state. And all that happens is just for time. Time still needs to catch up, okay? That you cannot be delusional about your own success. You can have like such a self belief within yourself that people think you're delusional, yes, but you don't want to think it's a delusion because in your mind it's already true. So, if you guys watched the end of this video, I appreciate you sticking around. I hope you actually learned something from this and that hard work, especially in today's world with all of the access you have to social media, and to, you know, mentors that can truly help you, change your mental state. with all this access you have, hard work will get you, it may get you somewhere, but it's not going to get you to your dream goal. And I can 100% promise you that, okay? And that it all starts within your mental state. So if you watch to the end, I appreciate you. Um, I'll be posting more. So appreciate you all for watching this video. God bless you. God loves you. And I will see you all later.